Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. And you're in another beautiful place, although there are houses behind you, so you're not completely in the wilderness today.
I'm just at a local park with my dog.
Nice. Nice. How have
I'm
things
glad you
been
send
going?
these. I'm glad you send these reminder emails because I've missed a couple of weeks and haven't been able to attend any
I've missed you.
practice labs or anything. So good to be back.
Yeah, it is good to see you. Have you been busy or what's been going on?
Um, yeah, I've been a little bit busy and then just yeah, just up and down, and then I haven't been video journaling the past week or so. So kind of fallen off of doing that, but I did start reviewing all my footage from the 30 days,
Oh, yeah. And did
and
you learn anything?
interesting. I did. I found some interesting insights. I have a different persona when I'm using my phone versus using my camera, and then even when I'm outdoors versus indoors. So I find that when I'm
That's
outdoors,
interesting.
I'm more into it's like more vlog style, and I feel like I'm
Hmm.
presenting more. But when I'm just using my phone, I'm just relaxed. My mood and energy is kind of
Oh.
lower, but I feel like I'm more like vulnerable. While
Mm.
when I'm outside, I'm in a better mood and my energy is better, but then it feels more presenty.
Right. So
Yeah,
do you feel like you have to force that good mood maybe? Or Or it might
I don't
even
feel like
be
I'm
more
forcing it.
subtle than that. It might just be because you're in a good mood, you feel like you have to present more.
I'm not sure, but it's definitely more subtle because I don't do it consciously.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
I've noticed it when because I've only seen about 7 or 8 of the videos, so the
Right.
first week, and noticing some obviously filler words and lip smacks and
Yeah.
funny facial expressions maybe, but there's moments where it's like, oh, this is actually pretty decent, and so that's been good.
Nice.
Yeah, now it's I gotta view the rest of them
Yeah.
and then continuing somehow to shoot with my camera outside because I think the fact that I'm going outside with my camera, maybe it's been less motivating or because it's I don't know, it's hardly any more work, but for some reason I haven't been as consistent doing that. While
Mm.
when I'm at home I can just use my phone and it's so easy.
Yeah.
The quality of the video isn't as good, but the content is actually pretty decent. Um,
Interesting.
so yeah, so that was interesting.
So you don't use your phone when you're outside?
I did for the first bit, but towards the end of the 30 days, I started using my camera.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
then my challenge to myself was actually to start shooting outside more because I felt like um, I just felt better energetically being outside. And then I
Yeah.
can share a message, and it was much more pleasant, obviously, to watch. And but it did seem a little bit more, how do you say, like not staged, but
Maybe just a
yeah,
slightly more self-conscious because you're outside. So you're, even if there aren't people watching you, your subconscious knows that you're in public,
yeah.
even, you know, even if you're not like with people, you still feel like you're in public. So I wonder, something that we've been talking about in the past calls, and I actually I've put them all on the website now because I realized that I was just emailing them out and that's hard to find. So I put like an archive of all the previous calls on the website so people can access them there. And something that Susan has been doing is sitting in front of her camera with her eyes closed and like getting really present and then opening her eyes and just making eye contact with the camera for the first few minutes and then only speaking when she feels moved to speak. And I wonder if something like that, like doing some sort of grounding exercise as part of the exercise. So
That's a great idea.
instead of separating it, doing it as part of the exercise, that might help just get you, because it sounds like you're pretty real, but there's just that tiny, tiny layer of self-consciousness when you're outside. So I wonder if just taking the time to just like close your eyes and get internal and get grounded, and then just open your eyes and breathe for a while and then start speaking. And I wonder if that might just just drop you in that tiny little bit further.
Yeah, I like that. I'll try that.
Yeah, give that a try.
Yeah, just the idea of kind of grounding a bit, because I did notice a
Yeah.
lot of the times, because I'm thinking as I'm speaking, I'm like my eyes are all over the place. I'm not looking
Yeah.
into the camera, so that happens.
Yeah.
So I
That's
think grounding,
natural.
that would be.
Yeah. And don't worry about looking away too much, because we do naturally look away when we think. It's not wrong. It's
Right.
just we don't want to do it as a hiding technique. So if you are actually connecting to something and your eyes look away, that's fine. It's just that some people will look away as a way to like hide from the camera, and that's not something you want to do. So there's that kind of like internal honesty bit about, was that genuine, or was maybe I hiding behind it a little bit? And you'll know watching it back. You'll be able to tell. Like sometimes it just feels totally natural. Like, oh yeah, I was swept up in the moment, and then I came back. And then
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh yeah, you were just avoiding.
Yeah. Because I feel like I want to start practicing delivering content on video, but
Yeah,
yeah, maybe another week or two of just doing some more intentional video journaling would be good before I
yeah,
actually get to, setting up the camera and the lights.
yeah. Or you can alternate, or because you've got a really good habit going. You've been doing it for quite some time. Um, so you could do just like a week and then start, or you could alternate, like do one day of video journal and one day of setup, because that might also, you don't want to draw too much of a line between the journal and the like real video, because then that puts all the pressure back on, right? So
Yeah, that's a good point.
it might be a good idea to like set everything up and do something, and then the next day say fuck it, but leave the setup there,
Yeah,
and just have it around you, but don't turn it on, and just do your thing, like video journal thing, and then the next day turn everything on and do it again, and so that you're kind of like phasing it in,
yeah, I
because
like that.
the the danger when we move up a step is that we don't want to delete all the work we've just done.
Right.
You
Yeah,
want to phase it slowly so that you keep all of this gorgeous, the vulnerability and the good you found a really nice vulnerability, it sounds like, in some of your video
yeah.
journaling.
There's some of the videos where I was like, I might actually consider posting it,
Yeah,
um,
you can
because
splice
there's
it
some good
together a
stuff
bit.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I thought it's a good way. So one of my challenges is that, I'm quite introverted. I'm not very active on social media. I post on Instagram, which gets forwarded to my Facebook, but
mm,
not to the point where it encourages any engagement and stuff. So I think even sharing some of these videos potentially, just to not only practice putting myself out there, but is
yeah,
also just to establish like what I'm all about,
yeah,
and then I can have some content, because what I'd like to do is eventually have 6 to 10 videos online and available, maybe either through a YouTube channel or through like a website or something, that when people see like my launch videos, when I'm actually promoting something, they can go back to, to see a little bit more content of who I am, when they're
yeah.
considering, for example, either following or buying into or investing into something that
Yeah,
I'm providing.
it's nice to have a
So
resource library
um,
for people to
I do have
access.
some decent content, I believe now. Yeah, yeah, so it's been good. And I have noticed that because I've been participating in weekly Toastmasters, that I've been getting feedback about how I'm like pretty good about looking into the camera and having a natural flow of conversational
Oh no, I've lost you.
speaking tone.
Sorry, give me the
I don't know if you heard
Toastmasters feedback again. I lost you for a sec. What have you been hearing
that. Oh
from
yeah,
Toastmasters?
that I have a very like fluid and like conversational way about giving speeches, as well as being able to really look into the camera, which very few people do on these virtual Toastmasters calls. So I know that that has attributed, well, my video journaling has really helped in that way. So that's
Awesome.
definitely transferable once I get into making content.
That's fantastic. Oh, I've lost you again. Think maybe the internet at the park isn't very good. Oh dear. It's a nice picture.
I tried
Are you
turning off
there?
my video because I'm in
Yeah,
a.
that might work better. And actually, I'll turn off mine too, because that'll just help you as well. That'll help your connection. Um, so that's great. You're finding yeah, that helps the Toastmasters meetings too. And yeah, as you create content, because depending on what content you're making, if you're just doing something that's more conversational, then it's okay to kind of look away every now and again. But if you're doing like a sales video or promotion video or something, then you have to be making eye contact the whole time. So it's good that that's becoming natural for you.
Yeah, and because I definitely don't want to.
Oh, I've lost you again. Oh no. All I heard was I don't wanna.
Oh, I keep going in and out.
Yeah, I think maybe the park reception isn't. It was working at the beginning of the call, but it's just degrading. I don't know if you can hear me. Well, did you want to maybe find a different spot? So I can't hear you at all.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Just yeah.
It's like that ad. Did you see that cell phone ad? This guy's like on a mountain on a donkey going, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" It's like supposed to show like really good cell phone coverage. Oh no, I've lost you again.
Hello.
Steve, can you hear me? Hi, Claudia.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Steve and I are just having some connection issues. How are you?
Good. Well,
Well, okay, good, but not just then she goes back on her good. Steve, I don't know if you want to maybe find a different space so that you can participate, or you can just type in the chat and if you have any questions or anything. Steve was just checking in about his video journal because he's been doing it for about 30 days and he's feeling pretty confident, and he's started to watch back because he did the whole 30 days. He started to watch it back, and he's noticed that when he's at home, because he's been doing some outside and doing some at home, and he's noticed that he's happier when he's outside, but he's not quite as vulnerable as when he's at home. So he's trying to find all those nuances and ways to kind of
yeah,
bring his favorite bits of himself in.
I might start to watch them too, because I haven't counted them, but I think I have.
We've been doing it for about that long. Yeah, and it's not an exact science. It's just once you feel, I just advise, wait until it feels very natural before you look back, because you don't want to bring
And what do you have
self-consciousness in
to
too
look
soon.
for when you start watching them?
The first time, I would just say be open. Just be open and curious, because you don't want to decide before you watch them what you're looking for, because then you might miss stuff, right? So just kind of have an open mind and watch them, watch a whole bunch of them. You don't have to obviously watch all of them because that might be a lot of content, but watch a whole bunch of them and just be open and notice, I mean, I guess you can look for things like when you think you're being more natural, when you think you're being less natural. Don't worry about habits in the first go round, because obviously you're going to have things that, like, you say certain words and that kind of thing, and that's kind of the next stage is when you start kind of looking at, oh, I don't want to start every sentence with "so what can I do about that?" That's when you start looking at that. But before you go there, just being really open and absorbing, like, who are you and what do you see, this person that you're watching, what are they like, and get to know them and be curious, because I think we have a lot of ideas of who we are. And if we don't approach the video with kind of a beginner's mindset, really, then I think we can miss out on some really valuable information. Yeah, so I know Steve was saying that he was just journaling, but he actually found some stuff in some of his videos that he'd actually like to use for content, because it was really good and it was really real. So and that's fine. Like, if you find stuff afterwards, like if you're not planning things, you're just being yourself on camera, and then way afterwards you decide to publish it, that's fine. The important thing is that when you're doing it, you're not expecting anyone to see it, so that it's completely unself-conscious. What has your experience been? Because you've been doing it for about a month as well.
Me?
Yeah.
Um,
How's it been feeling? What have you noticed?
I open up as if it was, yeah, I'm opening up. So I'm going to sometimes not so cheerful places.
That's expected. That's necessary, I think.
That's necessary, yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just go on and I tell what I've been up to during the day, or what I'm planning to do if it's early. And so sometimes I'm more, that's what I think. I mean, I haven't gone back to
You haven't watched them yet, yeah.
And so what else do I feel? I don't put much intention into being nice, or
no, you shouldn't,
for the camera, or even framing myself.
No, it's not necessary at this point.
And sometimes even the sound, I can't find my earphones, so I just go and start and get started. So I've been trying to be as raw and natural as possible.
That's fantastic. That's so good. And I'm glad that you're avoiding, because there is this trap, this temptation of being like, well, if I'm recording, I have to be happy, or, you know, like there's these kind of permissible emotions, and then there's the like ones that we're supposed to hide, and that is like against everything that I am. So it's good that you're embracing that, because when Susan was on the call last week, we were talking about how it's especially important to do the video journal on the days when you don't feel good, when you're having a bad day, and not to pretend that you're not, you know, like to be open about it and to be vulnerable, because also, not only because it's important that we embrace all of our emotional lives as human beings, that's extremely important, because when we try and pretend certain emotions don't exist, that can make us very ill and very dysfunctional. But also, when you watch back later, the judgments that we put on ourselves when we're feeling something really get in the way of us experiencing ourselves as human beings. And when you watch it back later, even if it's like 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, you may see things in that person, especially if you're being real. You may see things in that person that you'd never thought of, you know, like if I'm having a really bad day and I'm feeling really grumpy and I'm feeling really angry and whatever, and as long as I'm real with myself and real with the camera, when I watch it back, instead of those judgments of like, well, you should be better and you should be more productive and you should be happier, all that crap that goes on in my head, when I'm watching that person on camera, I go, wow, that person's so brave. She's in pain, but she's sharing it. And, you know, you see yourself in a different way. And so not only is that important, you know, as a human being, but it's also important because I think when we try and edit ourselves too much for the public, we miss out on a lot of the parts of our personality that we actually should be sharing with the public, like your strength or your passion or your vulnerability. Those things sometimes only show up when you're not having a good day, but they're still very important, and they're important to share. And we don't always have to be high energy when we're doing you know, a promotional video. Even a promotional video, you don't always have to be high energy, as long as you're being real, you know. that's what our audience is looking for. So I think it's really great that you're doing that, and I think it's so important, and it's worth saying on every single call, because and certainly if you watch my videos, you can see that I had some very bad days on my one, and I'm so glad that I recorded them, because they gave me a really deep understanding, not only into what was going on at the time, but also on who I am, and like what I stand for and what I am as a brand, and all that stuff, which is very important.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Um, and I also notice sometimes I feel awkward when at the beginning, when I start, how do I start? And then at the end, oh, okay, bye. I'm saying, okay, well, bye. And I'm saying it to myself, and I'm not really.
Mm.
But
So it
I
still takes you time to get in and to get out, but in the middle, do you feel connected in
feel,
the
I
middle?
don't know. I just start talking. If there's silence, there's silence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just start
Mm-hmm.
and roll with it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's also part of part of who we are. Like sometimes I'm feeling silly and goofy, and I just tell myself jokes for 10 minutes. If I'm in that kind of mood, I'm in that kind of mood. We're complicated people, and we're complicated beings, and sometimes we're and sometimes we're very serious, and
Yeah.
I was telling Steve something that Susan and I were talking about in the call, is that it's okay to make part of the process, because you have 10 minutes. It's absolutely okay to spend part of that time grounding yourself and getting connected. And she's actually been spending a lot of time just making eye contact with the camera and breathing and not speaking. And that's totally fine too, because you're present. You're in, as long as you're in relationship. So sometimes if you feel yourself getting self-conscious, if you're just enjoying chatting away, then great, do that. That's wonderful. But if you feel self-conscious or awkward, you can just take a moment and be like, okay, I feel really awkward. I'm just going to be here, and I'm just going to breathe, and I'm going to make eye contact with the camera, and I'm going to figure out what's going on. Like, am I feeling all squirmy inside and that's what's going on? Or am I avoiding something? Or, or do I just feel giddy? Like, what's going on? Who knows? And you can explore that.
Hmm. And sometimes I've tried to film with this part, so that I did not watch myself, and even
that's way better.
When I turn it to me, the camera, and I see myself in the picture, I try to not look at myself. And
yeah, it's always better to turn it around. I try and always film. Like if I'm filming something professionally, I'll film it the right way around because I need to see the frame. But if I'm filming for the video journal, I always film this way around because I don't want to think about it.
So you picture yourself first in the frame?
Well, for the video journal, it doesn't matter. I don't really care. As long as I'm mostly in frame, that's not what it's about. If I'm doing something that needs to go out into the world, then yeah, I'll actually, usually what I'll do is I'll use my camera, because my camera, which is here, the nice thing about my camera is that the viewfinder swivels. So what I do is I set it up, I open the lens and I set it up and I look at myself and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. And then I just turn it around.
I think I have the same, and the same
Great.
one. And in what do you record in what resolution? Which resolution?
If I'm recording for
yourself,
distribution, if I'm recording for myself, I'll do it on a lower one because it takes up less space. And storage is an issue.
Yes.
But if I'm recording for professional, I record it on the highest possible, because what I do, part of what I do, and when I'm editing, especially if I'm editing, if I'm doing the editing, the way I kind of cover edits is I will go from a mid shot to a close-up shot. So that essentially what you're doing is you're cropping the film the way you would crop a picture. And that, of course, that affects the resolution. So the resolution has to be really high in order for you to zoom in and for it to still look okay. So if it's for a professional, I always the highest resolution I have.
So you do cropping.
Yeah, I've
Mm.
become quite good at basic editing. I actually teach basic editing in my camera confidence course because I feel like I don't do my own edit. I only do my own editing for like social media videos. I don't do my own editing for anything professional. But I've found that learning about how to do editing helps me talk to my editor. So I don't like, we don't know, you know, she doesn't, I don't always know if what I want is possible. She doesn't always really understand what I want. So if I know how things work and I know a little bit about editing myself, it's a lot easier to
Mm.
get something really good with my editor when we're working together. So yeah, I do a little bit, just a little bit. um, Not anything too fancy.
Uh-huh.
My computer won't do it. It doesn't have a good graphics card, so I can't do fancy editing even if I wanted to.
Okay. So I'm good for now. I'm gonna
Awesome.
continue with this little by little, do something more maybe. But
Yeah, and if you're watching yourself back and you want to start kind of looking at the first few times you watch yourself back, just be open and be like, who is this person and what are they like? And just be curious and get to know yourself.
I'm not sure.
And then start looking at your patterns and your habits. And
Yeah, I'm not sure I will start this week because I'm taking a class and I have lots of things to do and I'm a
yeah,
little behind with that. So
yeah, fair enough. This isn't supposed to be a stressful thing. It's just a getting
but
to know yourself thing.
I will contact you again when I have done a change in this
Cool.
routine. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. And also just to remind you that practice labs are free until the end of the month. So if you're
Till the
interested,
end of June.
till the end of June. Yeah. So I think we've got 4 more,
Practice lab.
I think.
That is on Sunday.
All different days, all different times.
Okay,
It's on the website.
And did you upload the practice labs that we did? You did, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can I'll resend you the link. So everyone has their own link. So
Do
hold
you
on,
have
resend
it?
Claudia.
Yeah.
I will resend it to you.
Oh, wonderful.
Because so what I do is I give everyone their own folder, and then I just every time I upload video, I upload it to the same folder. So you have your own folder that
Oh.
only has your videos, and it doesn't have anyone else's videos, just yours, and it's there forever.
How do you do that? How are you so organized?
It's like the only way that I'm organized. You should see my desk right now. I'm selectively organized.
Yeah, I struggle with that.
But it's a lot easier. Well, I learned because before I was putting folders per event, and it just got out of control. And so I had someone working with me as an assistant for a while, and she helped me. We refiled them all.
Yeah, that helps when somebody else's mind works for your organization, and then you have a system in place.
Exactly. So now I just follow the system. So she helped me set it up, and now I just do what I'm told.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank
Danielle.
you. Thank you.
Steve, are you there?
He's here, but he's Can you talk, Steve? His internet connection's bad.
Okay.
I know he's unmuted, but I can't hear him.
Yeah. Okay, Danielle, I will say bye.
All right.
Now. Thank you very much.
Stay well. Stay in touch. Good luck.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Ooh, he went.
Yeah, looks like we're done. Have a good week.
Okay, you too.
Oh, he's back. Oh.
Okay, hello.
Is he back? He is back. We're taking turns.
Yeah, sorry,
That's
it's
okay.
so in and out. I tried driving to a better spot. Yeah, I'd like to participate in one of the practice labs on a Sunday, so I plan on joining one of those. And I was wondering if I can, at some point, maybe share one of my videos to get some feedback from you, because there's a few things that I'm looking for.
Yes.
As far as like how I'm communicating. And yeah, I'd like to get your eyes on that.
I
So
would love to. I would love to. And even if you want to send like little snippets, like this is a piece from this video, this is a piece from this video, and this is what I like about this one, like if you want to compare and contrast as well, that's yes, please send me
that's
things.
awesome. Thanks. I
Yeah,
really like that one
absolutely.
tip you gave several weeks ago about instead of trying to force out the breath and speaking, just like taking those pauses
Yes.
to breathe in. And I found that to be so helpful.
It's all about the
It
in
just,
breath.
yeah, and it relaxes my voice a bit. So
Hmm.
yeah, that was really good tip.
I think that and I was talking about this the last practice lab that came up again. And I think it's because as a society we're so focused on output, like we're so like must be productive, must get shit done. And we apply that everywhere,
Yeah,
even to our bodies, and it's
yeah,
um it's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Cool,
Yeah.
awesome.
Anything else I can help you with?
Thanks for doing all this. This has been really helpful.
Yay.
So yeah, it's great.
I'm going to keep it going. I'm probably going to start doing it every 2 weeks, maybe starting in July, instead of every week,
Hmm.
um, because I want to start doing community calls for my Authentic Speakers portal. Um, so this is probably going to go to every other week, and then I'll do every other week for the Authentic Speakers portal. So that's for people who are in my online membership. So, but I will keep doing this as long as people want it. Like I'll stop doing it when everyone stops showing up.
Yeah, yeah,
I find this exercise so useful, and it's also I'm really enjoying just staying in touch with people. Like I never know who's going to show up, but it's always cool to just kind of connect. So
yeah.
I'm
And I would
enjoying it
actually
too.
like to explore like working with you further. I'm gonna check out your. I remember you were doing some kind of promotion for one of your
I
membership sites a while
am.
back. Are
I
you still doing
am.
that? Because
It's
yeah,
only till the end of June. So
okay,
if you join before the end of June, if you join the Authentic Speakers membership, which is the online portal I've got going, before the end of June, you get a month for free, and then subsequent months for the rest of the year are $27 a month. So it's normally $47 a month, but for people who join now, they get the $27 a month till the end of the year, and then it goes up to 47 in January. Um,
cool,
and at some point, I'm going to raise. So I'm only doing the free trial until the end of June, and then it's going to be $27, and then I'm probably going to raise the price to 47 maybe like in August or September, but not for the people who've already joined. They stay at the good price. um
awesome.
yeah,
So I can find
because
that on your website then.
yeah, you can find it on my website. I'll send, sure, let me just throw it in the chat now, because I
Okay,
am
would you mind
notorious for forgetting things.
would you
Hmm?
mind emailing that to me?
Not at
Is
all.
that
I'll email
okay?
it
That'd
to
be
you.
great because I'll do that. I'm currently doing one of Melody's like the content
Oh,
strategy,
yay.
whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's
good.
been great. So I want to kind of
Oh, she's
combine the
fantastic.
two. Yeah, I really enjoy working with her, and I like her as a person.
She's
And
wonderful.
so yeah, so I just
We
want
work
to
together a lot.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm glad I found you guys on however it happened. I think
Yeah.
with
I
the
think
two
that's
week
through Meetup.
challenge via. Yeah, I think you're right. It was through Meetup.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to continue that because this is something that I've been really wanting to do for years, and now that I have a bit of time, like my fear is that I get back to work in doing film, and then all this momentum is just lost, which has happened 3 years in a row now.
Yeah.
So,
It's
um,
hard to keep things going, especially with the film schedule, which is just like so
yeah,
intense. I
yeah,
mean, it's difficult to keep a side hustle going even with a regular job. And like in
I
film, it's
know.
just
So I
insane.
found this like having like weekly calls and stuff to be really helpful because it
Hey.
gives me homework and the guidance, like
Yeah.
yeah, and just like minds to connect with, a little bit of
Yeah.
coaching, and then just some structure to be able to just get something done because I otherwise I just get overwhelmed with how much there is to do, and then the technology that goes with it, with email captures
Yeah.
and lead pages and all. I'm just like, oh my god, let me just start on my foundational piece and get that really solid. So
I hear you.
as I was mentioning, I noticed that sometimes when I'm watching people speaking, there's an incongruency with their body language and what they're saying. and that becomes apparent. So I don't feel like I have too much of that, except when I start getting
No.
salesy.
Well,
And
yeah.
and so I want to make sure that I like uh, that doesn't happen. And then a
Yeah.
few things work on is like that whole the storytelling aspect and the establishing myself as an expert, and
Mhm.
also the establishing trust. And those are like really important for me,
Yeah.
because I'm so like private and introverted, so that when I actually do start publishing content, I want to make sure that I'm just
Mhm.
calling the right people.
Yeah.
Uh, so
100%. And like integrity is so important. And there's a lot of experts out there who will tell you like, my way, if you do it my way, it's guaranteed, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but if even if I do get the results, if I get them and I'm unhappy because I don't feel like I'm being true to myself, then that's not okay with me. So,
totally.
and I think especially with sales, there's lots of ways around that. Like, I don't know, I found I would always like when I was learning, I followed all the templates and did what everyone told me to do, and it just felt so freaking awful. And because I'm so transparent, because like I've worked my whole life to be really transparent,
Uh,
it was just so obvious. Like I was standing up on stage and I'm like so in my groove and whatever, and then it would get to the sales bit and it would be like gear
yep.
change, like horrible, horrible, horrible. I would get so subconscious, and everyone could tell because I'm
Yeah.
really transparent. And eventually, I just threw that out, and I was like, you know what? That obviously does work for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me, and even if it does work, like even if that system does work, if I don't feel good about it, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if the system works or not because it's not working for me. So
Right.
when I do sales, I do my best just to be generous and plug into my passion, and then I just kind of let the rest of it take care of itself. So I try not to ever go in because as soon as I go into sales mode, I'm screwed. So I just
Right.
don't. I just don't go into sales mode.
Yeah.
And I let I like ride the passion, and I ride this like sense of wanting to help and be in service, and I try and be as generous as possible, and usually people ask, and then I go, okay, great, then because then I can just answer a question, instead of being like, oh, just until tonight only, blah blah blah, that feels so horrible. But if you're
Yeah.
just like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this thing, and then people are like, well, tell me more, how do I sign up, then that's a lot easier to do.
Cool.
And I don't know, I feel like it's a lot less manipulative too, because you're not even trying to control people, you're just being where you are and doing what you love. So um
Yep.
I totally hear you on the sales, and when you get there, I can do my best to help you. uh, because I mean, obviously everyone's different, but I think I've learned a few tricks that might help.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, send me that link, and then
I will.
I will maybe send you a couple
Yeah,
minutes
do.
of video, and tell me what you think.
Absolutely.
Maybe what I can work on and stuff. So that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. Please do. Please do.
Awesome.
I would love to help.
Cool. Thanks, Daniel.
Yay. Thank you. Thanks for being part of the community. Thank you for showing up so I had someone to talk to.